joining me, family and friends, gals and dudes, and what else? Maria loves to talk, and what are we talking about today? No. How are you doing today? How has life been treating you? Did you have a great week? How was your weekend? What are you eating? You eating some ribs? A rinky-dinky couple. Yeah, I went there. South Carolina pair sentenced to life in prison for crime spree. Oh, they gave them life. This is WCNC. Tyler Terry. No, not Tyler Terry. No, not Tyler Perry, but Tyler Terry has been connected to at least 4 homicides in 2 states, including 2 deadly shootings in South Carolina. This little joker, there's no other word, and this is recent. This is November 20 last year. This little thug been busy. Yes, I went there, you guys. Tyler and Adrienne Simpson, maybe she related to the Simpsons, boarding them. The suspects in at least 4 homicides in 3 states in a week-long manhunt in Chester County pleaded guilty.
After nearly a week on the run, Chester County murder suspect Tyler Terry is expected to appear in court this afternoon. WCNC Charlotte's Billie Jean Shaw has been following this case for us since the very beginning, and she's joining us live outside the Chester County Courthouse. Billie Jean, what have you learned?
Good afternoon, Ruby. Well, I actually just spoke to Donnie Terry. He is the father of Tyler Terry. We spoke 30 minutes over the phone. He lives in Charleston. He says he actually learned about the crimes his son is accused of through the FBI and SLED when they popped up at his door last week questioning him about Tyler. He says while his son did grow up with a troubled childhood, he never thought he would be accused of going on a killing spree.
Donnie Terry, a retired disabled Army veteran, says at a young age he and his wife split, and his son Tyler Terry spent most of his childhood in Ohio. When Tyler was 15, he moved to Charleston with his dad.
I think they put him in special education too while he was in school, so he never used to like to ride that bus. You know, he had a thing about, you know, the kids picked on him and stuff like that, so he eventually stopped going to school.
Donnie said that's when he noticed something was off about his son.
He burned down these townhouses where I lived at. He wrote like a 3 or 4 page confession, and in one part it said, "I burned down the houses, ha ha ha." And he said, "Yeah, Dad, I did it all by myself and I didn't have no help."
Tyler spent 4 years in a juvenile detention center. His dad says Tyler and the counselors convinced him Tyler changed for the better, so he brought him back home. Donnie says it was all an act.
He was, you know, violent here, you know, knocking holes in walls, arguing, not listening. So I had to evict him out of here.
Donnie says he did not stay in constant contact with his son and last spoke to him in January. He was surprised when I informed him. Investigators told me Tyler was homeless and lived in the woods.
Girl, that's news to me. I had no idea. You know, every once in a while, every couple of months, he'll call me for money or something. I'll say, you know, how you doing? You know, Dad, I'm doing this. I'm getting a job. I'm doing this, whatever.
After leading more than 300 officers on a week-long manhunt in Chester County, Tyler was arrested yesterday morning in the woods near Highway 9 in Richburg. His dad says he is not making any excuses for Tyler, but says something is just not right with his son.
My son need help. Is something going on with him?
Donnie says that he has not spoken to Tyler again since January, and the last family member to speak to Tyler just 2 days before all of this happened in Chester last week was the mother of Tyler's child. He says Tyler has a 3-year-old daughter, and due to the concerns of him being on the run this past week, they actually had to move her and his daughter to a secret place.
It was the most extensive manhunt in Chester County's history. So this was some little Bonnie and Clyde, new generation. More than 600 law enforcement officers at the state, federal, and local level participated in this investigation in the hunt and capture of these individuals. Boy, they were really after these 2 little people, these 2 little interracial couples. They were really after these people. 600 law enforcement, really? Wow.
Joining us, I'm Fred Shropshire.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. And tonight, the Chester County community breathing a collective sigh of relief with the end of a week-long manhunt. Suspected murderer Tyler Terry surrounded by officers and then taken into custody this morning. The break in the search came Sunday after somebody spotted him running across Highway 9 by Ligon Road, and that led to the setup of a perimeter with 300 officers covering every square inch.
Today, grateful community members gathered on the side of the road to thank officers for their perseverance over the last week. Terry had been on the run since Monday, May 17th, when authorities say he fired at deputies from a vehicle during a chase with his alleged accomplice Adrienne Simpson behind the wheel. Terry's facing a long list of charges after being connected to 4 murders across 2 states, with many other crimes committed in between.
WCNC Charlotte's Brianna Harper joins us live now from Chester County. In Bree, the community has been on high alert for a week. You talk to neighbors who've been in the middle of this. They must be relieved.
Absolutely. Those who live in this area say they can finally sleep peacefully tonight, not worried about accused killer Tyler Terry possibly hiding out just feet away from where some of them live. In fact, I actually spoke to one neighbor who says he saw Terry on his front doorstep ringing his doorbell just days before he was arrested.
A week of unrest dealing with the unknown while a suspected killer was on the run.
Well, of course, we've been on nerve's edge, and it's just been very scary.
But that fear now replaced with relief, knowing Tyler Terry is officially in police custody.
Even though it took a week, they got it done.
Following the arrest, we've also learned more about where exactly Terry's been hiding the last few days. One neighbor tells us at some point this white barn was home for the suspect once he found a vacant apartment upstairs to hide out in. He even left behind one of the shirts police believe he previously stole. And then on Tuesday afternoon, another neighbor says he got an unexpected visitor.
About 1:30, 2 o'clock, we get a ring at the doorbell, and it turned out to be him.
Neighbor Robert Lynn says he and his family grabbed their guns, stayed quiet inside, and immediately called police.
He never tried to break in or nothing, so we held position and we watched.
We're told police were there at the home in minutes, yet Terry still managed to get away. But the hard work of hundreds of officers eventually paid off.
To keep this guy contained into one area and not allow him to skip counties, skip states. These guys, they don't get the credit that they deserve.
Oh well, that's why you gotta be careful who you hook up with, who you date, who you let in your space, who you let in your house, who you let yourself get flabbergasted with.
And we know that there was a lot to keep track of with this crime spree. The suspects have led authorities on a trail this month spanning multiple states. So here's a closer look at all that's happened.
A closer look tonight at this timeline of terror. The crime spree started Sunday, May 2nd in York, South Carolina. That's where Terry allegedly shot and killed Thomas Hardin. He's charged with murder in that case. Adrienne Simpson is charged with accessory after the fact, and that same day, Simpson's husband, Eugene, went missing. Also that day, Chester police say Terry was involved in 2 separate shootings, one on Ehrlich Street and another at the Taco Bell on J.A. Cochran Bypass. He's facing attempted murder charges for those. Fast forward to Saturday, May 15th in St. Louis County, Missouri. That's where Terry and Simpson are wanted for 2 deadly shootings. The first happened around 10:50 p.m. A husband and wife shot while driving. One of them, 71-year-old Barbara Goodkin, died. About an hour later, shots were fired in a parking lot, leaving Dr. Sergei Zakharev dead. 2 days later, the crime spree returned to Chester County, South Carolina. Deputies say Terry shot at them Monday night after a police chase. Simpson was arrested. But yesterday, another twist. The body of her husband, Eugene, was found in Great Falls, also in Chester County. At this time, authorities are investigating if Terry or Adrienne Simpson were involved.
So after the sentencing, Terry stayed silent. That's the dude, but Simpson spoke out. Words cannot express how much this affected me. Also, how I wish I could rewind the time and change what happened, Simpson said. Simpson's own sister did not buy the apology, saying she is just as guilty as Terry. Adrienne got what she deserved. I mean, she chose this path. Kristen Ruth, Simpson's sister, said. Her own sister. Like, girl, I told you about this. I am not defending you. I am not standing up for you. I am not taking up for you. All I can say, right on, sister. She made her bed. She knew what was up. I don't know if these people really thought they were going to get away with this mess or what. Prayers go out to the victims and their family, not to them criminals, because I'm going to keep saying and saying and saying again, we need to change these laws. Let's stop letting these people sit in jail year after year, and then after 5 years or 10 years, they're supposed to serve 20 or 30 years. They're out and they're back to doing the same damn thing over and over again. Bring back the electric chair, bring back the guillotine, send them to Siberia or to Mars or Saturn, wherever there's a big bonfire. Moving on, because I have no tears for them jokers.